For sure, definitely opportunity. I mean, the offense is anybody can score, anybody can have a big night. Tonight was just mine. I was getting out and running, hitting threes. I mean, I love this offense. I love playing with these guys. I mean, we gotta defend. We gotta be a lot better. They scored, I think, 40 in the first quarter. That can't happen. If we're gonna be a defensive team, it's either 24 or less. So we gotta be better.
What up, Naptown? Shelling Carter, this Carter 94 feet. Indiana Pacers, they got their first dub with their first game at home for the season premiere. Hey, the Pacers, they did their thing. It was struggling early on. In the first quarter, it was a lot of misses, some mishaps, turnovers, not closing out, not guarding their man at first. Then it was a timeout with Rick Carlisle early on in the first quarter to turn things around. Still was an issue in the first quarter because they let go of whatever their mindset this year, which was defense, right? So that being said, it was a lot of issues going on in the first half, the first quarter, where they allowed the Wizards to score almost 40 points. So half of it maybe the Wizards was just hot. But at the same time, there were moments where you could have got a better stop. Partially, the other issue was fouling a lot. So there was a lot of issues going on in the first quarter and in the first half. It started turning things around a little bit towards the end of the second quarter, but it was just too late. They were already hot. So they got them adjustments in the second half, and I seen a whole different team in this second half. They really turned it around, got on a run, and didn't hold back. They got on a crazy run and ended up having damn near 23s in the game. So they had the Pacers had about 23 pointers. They shot 46.5% from the range. And also, the field goal percentage was 52%. So that was pretty good. So, and Halliburton and the rest of the staff, the players they've talked about, they can score. The biggest part was defending. So, due to the first half of them not really guarding to their like, they would probably be expected to have this high scoring game of the Wizards having 120, even though Pacers still locked up towards the second half to separate themselves and have 143 points. But to what happened in the first half, that was the biggest issue that caused the Wizards to have 120 points. And I think that is something to think about and worry about in terms of progression and what's needed to improve is defense starting off. Because if they started off better defensively, then they wouldn't have 120 points. It would be a lot less, probably towards 110, 105, hell, maybe even 90, 96 or something. But like, that's a stretch, but at least maybe 105, something like that. At max. That should be the mentality, to try to lock up on a team like the Wizards, who's kind of like towards the tanking side. But yeah, good to see some progression though. I'm glad I got to see some type of progression in the second half for the Indiana Pacers. Obi Toppin, he started improving in the second half, playing defense and playing aggressive. Mathurin playing aggressive, showing some improvement on defense. Halliburton as well. Everybody, they locked in. But shout out to Bruce Brown for leading the way as a player that they expected to really have a big impact for this Pacers squad, who had about 24 points. He did his thing. He was leading the way, scoring, shooting the ball, stretching the floor, helping them create that lead and create them runs. He was one of the biggest factor towards them runs alongside on the bench. Buddy Hield, he led the way on the bench in my eyes, seeing how he shot the ball and kept us in runs and kept us in possessions where we felt like a possession was maybe going too long, of like not finding something to go, getting that rhythm, finding a good open man, finding some type of rhythm. He'll bail him out for a three. And it's like those type of plays are important going forward against a lot of the top elite teams that we aspire to beat as a Pacers squad for my Pacers. So Pacers fan, let me know how y'all feel about this squad and what this game was and y'all point of view. We didn't really get to see much of Jarris Walker this game, but I expect to see him at some point. But I think it's good to see him get on the floor, but maybe not a lot. But hopefully he can get those jitters and that nervousness out in this game, and be able to ball when he's given the opportunity. Because he only got a little bit of minutes, like 3 minutes or something in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, excuse me. And they're not, maybe not a lot, but he still got some run, got a shot up or two. Hopefully he does get opportunity though, because I feel like he can really be a player that can make an impact that did not play as much. He can make an impact as long as he's able to stretch the floor and play defense at a high level. And I feel like one thing is his defense would be the biggest factor of why I feel like he should be in rotation, getting some type of minutes more than just late for fourth quarter minutes. I feel like he can make a big impact. Now I don't know what's gonna happen with Jalen Smith and Isaiah Jackson, because I feel like it was a bit. I don't know. I felt a little energy. I felt some type of energy. Like, man, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing Jalen Smith help our runs and trying to get that lead and stay, in fighting distance in the first quarter when we were losing it, and having those defensive problems in the second quarter as well. And I was seeing those issues. And then when Jalen Smith came on the floor, he's shooting the ball, he's getting the rebounds, he's helping in the paint on both ends. And it's like the way he was handling it, it was like, damn, I don't know, man. Could Jalen Smith take the role as the backup 5 over Isaiah Jackson? It might be leaning towards that way. But then the fouling issues lean towards Jalen Smith as well, and everybody else. And here comes Isaiah Jackson. Hey, man, this is going to be crazy and something to really look at this whole year. Especially maybe this first half of the year, maybe before January, maybe before trade deadline, something like that. I wouldn't say half, most of the year, mostly towards that, by the trade deadline, on decisions to make on who needs to be traded and who can stay. And I feel like one thing I would consider is making a decision on what happens with Jalen Smith and what happens with Isaiah Jackson. But there's another player I want to talk about that also made a good impact from seeing him in the summer league where he shouldn't have been there, and then seeing those improvements with his shots and the way he was just confident shooting that ball in the mid-range. That's Andrew Nembhard, and he was hooping. He had double-digit assists just like Halliburton, doing his thing. See him shooting some little mid-range in the paint, pull-ups, looking like McConnell out there. Like, I see you. Look, what you been learning from? But like, he was getting those little fades off the the jumper fades. You see that McConnell always doing. He was getting that in a little bit, maybe a little farther out, maybe a few feet out a little bit. But like, hey, seen more of a bag from him in this game. The confidence and him playmaking and still playing good defense. Hey, this squad looking nice. Now, this the Wizards. But we handled business. Now, it wasn't pretty because we could have been better, but it was fun. We got them runs. We turned things around later on in the second half. But the first half, still something to work on. And, hey, good. I feel like it's a good start for us to face a team like the Wizards to get some type of momentum and get some type of understanding while also getting the dub. That's a good thing to start off with. So it's something to learn from, definitely with this Cleveland team coming up, because it's going to be a battle with that big team. We're going to have to lock up, be strong in that paint. Definitely Turner and Toppin. They got to be strong and not foul, because if they foul, they will win that game. Dead ass. They will win that game if Turner and Toppin do not stay on that floor and they don't play defense. If they don't play defense, we lose. If we do play defense and show some improvement in the paint with Toppin, individually, he shows the improvement. Turner not getting fouls, getting on no foul trouble. Also, rebounding improvement from both. They improve. They show that growth, their improvement. Then we win. So on both sides, if there's no improvement on rebounding and defense, fouling, we lose. Simple as that. That would be the biggest factor on what happens with the Cavs and the Pacers coming up in our second game. And yeah, I like what I see from Mathurin. He's making a lot of good moves. Mathurin did his thing. He was playmaking, driving kicks. He made some mistakes like he was doing in the preseason, but his idea, his mindset of wanting to pass the ball more, move the ball more, that's good. That's good to see because then that just takes the pressure off of his shoulders. Also, he had 18 points. Got some threes up, did his thing, shot efficient. Hey, we looking good, man. We is looking good. Now, like I said, it's one game, but I mean, overall, still, I mean, it's good. I'm like what I'm seeing, but obviously, there's still need for improvement defensively, being consistent on in the first half and the second half, consistent the whole game, 48 minutes. Did I get that right? 48 minutes. No, I did not get that right. What the hell am I trying to say? Is that 48 minutes? Oh, you know what? Scratch it. First quarter through fourth quarter. It's nighttime. You know, we just chilling. I'm vibing. I probably got the numbers all wrong. So, hey, but yeah, first quarter through the fourth quarter, they got to lock up. Not third quarter and fourth quarter. They got to lock up in the first quarter all the way to the fourth quarter till that buzzer hits 0. That's their mindset. Obviously, that's something Rick Carlisle been talking about. He even said in the press conferences and throughout the summer and throughout the preseason, he said it times and times again. And I remember him talking to some of the reporters, answering them, and he was talking about in the training camps where, like, man, at this point we can't be talking about it, man. We just got to be about it. Now I'm just kind of rephrasing, but that's somewhat something he said. Basically, is just got to be about that action at this point. Ain't no more. It's just all that talking is empty. They got to be about it on the floor. They got to want to stop their man. They got to want to lock up and get them stops. But yeah, in the Pacers, man, they seen some improvement, though. Some type of improvement. You know, that size improvement with having Toppin on the floor, the veteran shit, the skill, extra inclusion of Bruce Brown, the two-way ability of him was a big factor in this game. I definitely see the difference. And definitely with the size of Toppin and athleticism of Toppin, being able to run the floor and get the rebounds and use some size and length to play some defense, which I've seen that improvement in the second half, like I said. So, and also Mathurin doing his thing, being improved on defense. Tyrese Halliburton, he shot the ball well, doing his thing well, seeing how he was getting his shots off, getting the mid-range more. I like what I was seeing him being not just an outside threat, but also was going to the rim, shooting some floaters, the runners, those mid-range shots. Those some good shots to do, because I'm going to tell you like this, some of the best players in the league, they got to have a mid-range jumper. They got to have some middle game, floater or something like that. They got to have that in that game, in their bag. And I'm glad to see him getting to that a lot more, because sometimes knowing that he's a great shooter, they're going to try to get him off that line. So he got to be able to create and get points in other ways on the floor. So it's good to see what he's doing. Keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing, Ty. We good with that. Turner. Want to see more from him this coming up game against the Cavs. Want to see more, because we did not see a lot from Turner this year, with a lot from this game because of foul trouble. So it's going to be important to see how he improves this next following game, and maybe even more points from Toppin, who had 11, alongside 11 from Turner. So it's going to be important to see what these two can do in this Cavs game against the front court of Mobley and Allen. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this Pacers team respond with this dub that they had against the Wizards, and see how they improve in the next following game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let me know what y'all think about this game, Pacers and Pacers fans, Pacer Nation, and how many wins y'all got them winning. I won't say it right now. I got them winning about 45. I know it's an extra boost, 10 more games than what they had, 35, but I'm just going to go on the limb. I'm going to go on that edge, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be rooting for them to have 45 wins. That is my statement for this year, is them winning 45 games. So let me know what y'all got them winning. That's 45 and 37, if I remember. And I think the Nets had that last year. They were like the sixth seed, and I think in the West, it was like the fifth seed for like the Suns or somebody with that similar record. So that may be a chance for us to get out the play-in, which I would prefer. So hopefully we can see the improvement though, because if they don't show the improvement that I've talked about and that they talked about on the defensive end, then they're not getting that 45. So hey, we're gonna have to see how this Pacers squad continue to grow and show what they're capable of. Hey, I'm Shannon Carter. This Carter 94 Feet. Make sure you like and subscribe, man. If you're new, welcome to the family. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos on this basketball for Pacers and around the NBA. I'm Shannon Carter. I'm signing off.